Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So, rogue video this time. Yeah, because this is just something, I don't know. Again, the more general topic is the housing market is insane and a rip-off. And this is a bit of a more general rant to begin with. My childhood home, which 3 bedrooms, parking, garage, garden, in the countryside, shall we say, sold for, I want to say, less than 300k when my mum sold it a few years ago, right? Tell me why, as I like to just go on Rightmove and dream of owning property. I like to dream, okay? But tell me why I'm seeing like crappy, like 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom places for like 450. Obviously, the closer you get to London, the more outrageous it is. But still, and I never lived that far away from London when I was younger anyway. It was the countryside, but you could still get to London like fairly easily. It wasn't like you had to take half a day to get there. You know, for the Yanks, I have a southern English accent. I'm from the south of England, right? But just everywhere, and even sometimes I look in my childhood hometown and I look on Rightmove and see what's there, and it's outrageous. Everything is. And then I was looking, I won't say the area I'm in now, but I was looking at like, again, on Rightmove, just little houses around this area, again, just dreaming. Like, why am I looking at like 2 to 3 bedroom properties, with parking and a garden and garage? Why were they around like 700,000? Sorry? 700? So like getting on, some of them were like 770, and it's like you're getting on to close to £1 million for a house, a normal house. Just, has a bedroom, has a kitchen, not a bedroom, has like several bedrooms, but has a kitchen. What is going on? And I think Gary's Economics said something recently about how like the housing market crisis, the prices are only going to continue to rise, and it's not going to pop anytime soon because there is a demand to live in houses, but it's unaffordable. I was in London for several years and I left because I just couldn't really justify the rent, but then I still have to stay close-ish to London, like commuter-wise, right? And the rent around the borders of London, like not even Zone 6, I mean like around all the borders of London, it's still stupid for what it is. And then London prices out a lot of people who work there, so then they live in commuter towns, which then, the rental prices increase, and then that pushes out the locals. I know of a few commuter towns, like I got some, like friends and family or whatever, and it's a common thing that you're hearing everywhere now. It's what's the alternative other than to somehow make more, barely paying my rent every month, for like somehow go and make more money? Like, what's the fucking alternative? And then I saw this video on the Metro, right, that really just, see if you can spot what's wrong with this title. What I rent, we pay £2,060 for our Battersea studio flat. Studio flat. So, your bed is in the living room. 2,000. When I was living in Shoreditch, me and my best friend, we were living in like this crappy basement. It had like one window that we never really, in the bedroom, that we never really used because there was spiders when I opened it once. So I kept it like shut for the whole duration of the time that we lived there. Yeah. We were living in this basement flat, and it was pretty crud. There wasn't good ventilation. It was all right size for one person, but he lived in the living room and I had the bedroom because I'm a lady. Sometimes I kind of miss it, to be honest, though. Like, it was, I get very nostalgic every single day. I wonder why. Very nostalgic all the time. I do kind of miss it. I miss just taking drugs in that living room. Miss everyone being alive who should be alive. Anyway, but our rent at the time was about, I think, £950. For the 1 bedroom flat. It didn't quite include bills. And I'm a council tax avoider. I'm not going to say any more before they come get me. But £950, so it was £475 each. We posed as a couple to get the place. I don't think the guy gave a shit, but we pretended that we were a couple to get the place. And we paid £475 each. And we had a little like gas card that you had to top up. It was really it was dire, and yet it was a simpler time. Yet I was always like so broke. I do think sometimes, like, I couldn't even envisage back then, like, being a YouTuber full time and that, like, paying my way. Regardless. So I am very grateful to a lot of things, but not the point. 475. And then last year, I just, I got curious, so I checked. And I saw the same place came up on Rightmove. Remember, $950 a month. That rent was 475 each. Why was it up on Rightmove? I looked through the pictures and it was the same flat. Nothing had changed. Nothing had upgraded. Why was that same place now about, I think it was 1,600. It was either 1,500 or 1,600 a month in rent. Like, I think it was 1,500. It was a £600 increase. Nothing had changed to the flat. Nothing had been improved. They hadn't, somehow fitted more windows so there was better circulation so you didn't get fucking mold growing in the corner. £600 increase in the rent. That's like what? I don't know, just 600. So like a 66% increase on the rental price. Is that right? Did I do the math right? I don't know. What for this why? £600? I had, when I was living in London still, just before I moved out, I wanted to live by myself without roommates or flatmates or spare room, whatever, for a year, right? And I had a 1-bedroom with like a pretty big flat in Shoreditch. The rent was stupid. It was like $1,400 a month. It was stupid. I would not do that again. But it was like, way nicer and way better, and had like an actual bath, because that other place didn't have a bath, just had a shitty little pokey shower that I had to deal with for 3 bloody years. It had a bath, it had like a garden area. It was a nice flat. It was big, it was nice. 1,400. And now that pokey little flat that me and my friend had to share is now like, well, actually, the other place has probably gone up, but still, it's insane. £600 increase for fucking what? On top of like bills and, well, let's just say bills. But £2,000 for a studio flat in Battersea. Battersea. Why? What's the point? Welcome back to What I Rent. This week we're in Battersea visiting Joanna, who first saw homes in her building advertised on the side of a red London bus, along with her boyfriend Adam. So they're paying £1,030 each. She was one of the first residents to move into the development in August 2023. Fast forward to 2025, and the pair have made friends with their neighbours thanks to the communal spaces and activities on offer, which range from ice skating to clay workshops and yoga classes. Their building might be compact, but they use the entire building as their home. Now, the only thing that they feel they're missing is an art studio and a sauna. I would love to live somewhere with a home sauna, to be honest. So, I'm a 32-year-old interior architect, artist, public speaker, and lived experience advisor. That's quite a lot. Are you actually all these things, Joanna? Because that's quite a lot. That's like me being like, well, I'm a YouTuber, stand-up comedian, public speaker, orator, author, voice-over artist, presenter. None of those things. I'm literally just a shitty YouTuber. It's quite a lot of things. Public speaker. I can do public speaking well easy. And I live with my partner, who is a writer, educator, and teacher. This is a lot. Do they have to do all these things just to be able to afford the rental on this place? What kind of property do you rent? I rent a studio apartment for my fiance at Folk Co-Living, Florence Dock, which is a communal living property where we have a private apartment but share all of our living spaces with other residents. It's somewhere between a house share and a holiday destination. We moved into a holiday destination, really? Really? How much you pay to live here? $2,000. What do you get? You get a kitchenette. So not even... If you look at the pictures, not even like a kitchen, you get a kitchenette. Not a proper kitchen, a kitchenette. An ensuite bathroom, but does it have a bath or does it just have a shower? So if it does just have a shower, don't even talk to me. Double bed, TV and desk, as well as the storage unit in the basement where we store our suitcases and camping equipment. We also use the bike storage. This price includes all of our bills, a 24/7 on-site front desk team, shared spaces like roof terraces, fitness studio, cinema room, bar, on-site shop, co-working space, the list goes on. Including all bills, that's actually pretty good. Because a lot of people are renting a room in London. Like one of my friends, he's renting a room for like, $725 or something, plus bills. But still, if that was one person living in this little studio, because I'm so sure a studio is not big enough for 2 people, like especially from the pictures, that can't be big enough for 2 people. Hence the co-working spaces, I suppose. But still, you'd feel so on top of someone else all the time. But if one person wanted to move into one of these studios, $2,000 for all of that ain't worth it. It's crazy. That's like 24k a year. That's like what the average wage in the UK, isn't it? It averages out to like 24k per annum or whatever. There are also free events every month. Since we've lived here, there's been laser tag, ice skating, soap making, cooking classes, yoga classes, clay workshops, sipping paints. That is quite fun. There are big annual parties in summer at Halloween and New Year's. That all does sound quite fun, but still, that's a lot of money. £2,000 a month for that. It shouldn't be like this. It should be like £1,000 a month instead, and then people might actually be able to afford to buy their own homes. I use my flat mainly as a bedroom and do the majority of living in the shared spaces, movie nights in the cinema, a game of pool after work, meal prepping in the community kitchen, creating art and writing on the 7th floor with beautiful views of the city, or reading in the library and sunken lounge. But you're not even allowed pets either. Do you feel like you have enough space? Despite our actual apartment being quite small, we feel we have plenty of space. Don't think you do. I feel like you've been forced to tell yourself that you've got enough space, but really you've just got a bedroom. It's not enough space for a person, man, unless you're a minimalist. But even then, you're still on top of like each other. The apartment itself could be improved with a little relaxation area, a comfortable chair to sit in and read with a cup of tea. I also wouldn't object to the addition of a wellness area in the gym, while having a meditation garden and a sauna would elevate the experience of living here. That does sound quite nice, but not for £2,000 a month. Right, let's have a look. So the kitchenette is literally just a microwave. Great, cool. Is that a stovetop? I can't read it. I think it is. Tiny stovetop, little microwave, TV, bed, bookcases, one wardrobe. Yep, a shower, not a bath. Now the cinema room and all that stuff. Yeah, the communal kitchen, that all looks really nice. But again, £2,000 a month. You could just rent like a 5-bedroom house in Glasgow for £2,000 a month. Someone said, co-living is a con. It irks me that professionals in their 30s are reduced to spending their hard-earned money on what is effectively a pokey hall of resident flat for adults. Even worse is the fact that the likes of Metro endlessly endorse this way of living as something that's acceptable and to be desired. That room looks like a prison cell and co-living sounds horrendous. How can she think she has a good deal? Even by London standards, that is a ridiculous price. Fools and their money. 2 friendly articles about the same rental company in just a few months. What are the chances? Okay, so they're being paid and sponsored. A studio flat. I have a 1-bed flat in Covent Garden. I don't pay half as much. Not sure I believe that. And then there was this YouTube short I saw of this 5-level townhouse with 1 bedroom in NYC. So let's watch it together, shall we?
We're on the top floor of this 1-bedroom townhome. That's right, from the outside, it looks exactly like this, a townhome. When you get inside, you're greeted with one of the most spectacular and unique spaces in the city.
Looks fine. What's your complaint, Alizee? Let's keep going. Then you'll see my complaint. Because it looks nice. It looks nice. It doesn't show what's up the spiral staircase. I'd quite like to see that, but anyway.
This is the top floor with the bedroom, open bathroom, your closet's downstairs, you've got a shower there, and just a ton of sunlight all over.
Did you notice it? Did you spot it? The shower there, the toilet. Where's the door? We'll get to the price in a minute. Where's the door to the toilet? I've heard of open plan living rooms and open plan kitchens. That's an open plan bathroom. That's an open plan toilet. So what? You have friends round and you need to use the toilet and they're just going to hear you shit? But the price of this place is, I would want the bathroom completely soundproof so people didn't hear me pee. Open plan bathroom is actually diabolical, and I commented that on the video because it is completely diabolical. There is no privacy whatsoever.
Behind this is an elevator, but we're going to take the stairs to the closet space. There's another bathroom over here, a home office.
No doors. Again, no doors. 2 bathrooms, no doors.
Cool little bench right there. This is all custom. Down 1 more floor to the living room. Wet bar, a little terrace out there, a little sitting area, and these amazing windows with a fireplace.
And for being like a split 5-level townhouse, there only being 1 bedroom is a strange choice. For the price, we'll get there. That actually all looks very, very basic.
And then down 1 more floor, which is the 1 floor that really feels like townhome living. You walk in over there, there's a built-in coat closet right near there.
Ooh, a built-in coat closet. Oh, why didn't you tell me that sooner? Guess how much it is?
A dining room, really, really sleek. Kitchen, a half bath right next to the kitchen. What do you think?
Did you catch that? Half bath right next to the kitchen. Where's the door? Again, where's the door? $5 million. 4.68 million, to be very precise. But $5 million. Half of $10 million. $5 million for a 5-level split, 1-bedroom townhouse in New York, where apparently you don't even get privacy to shit in peace. $5 million for that. And again, like, over, yeah, the kitchen was nice, and like the kitchen was to a nice standard. The living room was very basic, but like $5 million for that? What is going on? What is happening? Someone said the open bathrooms are just stupid and frankly uncivilized. Very true. 4.7 million is absurd for a studio spread badly over 4 stories. Someone said this used to be a 4-bedroom townhouse. Every space he spoke about that had a bathroom was at once a bedroom as well. And the first landing had 2 smaller bedrooms. That is why the closet covers the length of space. The toilet is in the back. If this house had its original number of bedrooms, it might be worth double. But as it stands, it's barely worth 3 million. I wouldn't even say that. Like, these places should not be costing this much money. This can only be bought by someone who entertains a lot of people all the time. As it stands, the entire interior is a waste of space. It's all just barbaric. All of it is barbaric, and I have no idea what's going to happen. I am not an economist. I am not anything. I don't know what the answers are, other than somehow we've all just got to make more money. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps my channel out. And make sure that you check out my merchandise site, ayclothing.tmall.com, where you can get this, stickers as well, and notebooks and clothes and all the rest of it. And make sure you check out my book on Amazon, The Prime Minister's Porky Mistress, $2.99 at Amazon. Go check it out and give me 5 stars. If you didn't like it, then don't bother. Thank you guys so much for... Sorry, this video was a little bit depressing, but I just had to write and get it out there because I'm fed up as well. I'm fed up. I should not be the age I am with 0 properties. Yikes. Remember when our parents used to be able to just like buy a property for like a $5 and a packet of chewing gum. Thank you guys so much for watching and listening. Like, comment, subscribe. Every like will help go towards my property fund. And I'll see you all next time. Bye.